We're looking at being a catalyst. What does it mean to be the thing that leads to a change, a rapid change reaction? We're looking in Acts chapter 3 at a really interesting story about a great miracle that was a catalyst for change in the life of the early church. And honestly, we're still talking about it thousands of years later. It was a change even for us. So I'm going to pick up where we left off. We read verse 1 that talked about the healthy habits that Peter and John had. Here's what the rest of this passage up to a certain point says. In verse 2 and 3, it says, as they approached the temple, so they being Peter and John, as they approached the temple, a man lame from birth was being carried in. Each day he was put beside the temple gate, the one called the Beautiful Gate, so that he could beg from the people going into the temple. Verse 3 says, when he saw Peter and John about to enter, he asked them for money. I think about that person every day being brought to that gate to beg. A lot of people passed through this beautiful gate. It was expensive, it was well traveled, and this man, he was put there every single day. He'd been disabled since birth, so we really don't know how long he'd been there because we don't really know at this point how old he is. And later on we find out in chapter 4 that he was over 40 years old. So you can just imagine how long repetitive this was every day coming to this gate. I want you to think about what he saw. Maybe you haven't really read a lot of the New Testament, so you don't know, but if you've read a lot of the New Testament, think about what he saw sitting at that temple every single day. The disciples, as we read, they went there every single day. So surely they saw each other, meaning disciples saw this person begging there. Then he sat up there for so long, he may have actually witnessed Jesus cleansing the temple. He may have witnessed Jesus teaching. He may have witnessed a blind person being healed. He may have witnessed children praising Jesus. Of course, he probably saw the religious people confronting Jesus, but he just blended in. He became what so many people are in our society. Just another problem, just another thing to overlook. But look what happens in verse 4. It says, Peter and John looked at him intently, and Peter said, look at us. I love that language. Peter looked at him and then said, look at us. He made that connection. There's people hurting all around us, and we just kind of walk by and do our thing. I'm guilty of it. And we say we'll pray for them, or worse, maybe we blame them for being in that situation, but Jesus didn't do that. And here we see in this passage that his disciples, his apostles, they didn't do that. What they did is they reached out. But in order to reach out to people, you have to look. You have to give them your attention. So we learn that healthy habits, they make a difference. But listen, found people find people by looking. Found people find people. That's become a cliche in church world. I've been found by Jesus. I'm going to go find people that need Jesus. But you have to look. They're there. God in his perfect timing, he set up this event to bring about life change. Imagine what could happen this week in your life if you started reaching out to people with open eyes. Ask God to open your eyes to the need around you. I promise you, he'll show you. Your love in action could be the catalyst to life change.